Hey beautiful Cancer souls, welcome back to the channel. I just sat down with my deck and honestly, the energy that came through for you today is something else. I pulled these cards specifically asking about when you are ready and how the universe is about to respond to you. And Cancer, what I am seeing here is absolutely fascinating. Before we dive in, I want you to take a moment and really ground yourself. Whatever you have been waiting for, whatever you have been preparing for internally, the cards are showing me that there is this incredible alignment happening. And I am not talking about some vague future timeline. I am talking about right now. This exact moment where your energy is shifting into a frequency that the universe has been waiting for. So I have 10 cards laid out in front of me, and each one is telling a different part of your story. A story about readiness, about divine response, about what happens when your internal world finally matches what you have been calling in. Let me walk you through this journey because honestly, Cancer, this reading feels like a love letter from the universe to you. The first card I pulled for you is the Five of Cups, and when this card showed up, I have to be honest. My initial thought was, oh, this is about looking at what was lost. But then I sat with it longer and realized something deeper. Cancer, this card is not showing up to remind you of your pain. It is showing up to reveal how far you have come in processing it. See, the Five of Cups is traditionally about grief and disappointment, right? 3 cups are spilled and 2 are still standing behind the figure. But here's what the universe wants you to understand. Your readiness is not about pretending those 3 spilled cups never existed. Your readiness is about finally, truly, deeply understanding that those 2 cups behind you hold something even more valuable because they were preserved through your growth. I am seeing that you have spent so much time, Cancer, looking at what did not work out. Relationships that ended, opportunities that passed, versions of yourself that you had to let go of. And there was a period where that looking back was necessary. You needed to grieve, you needed to process, you needed to understand what those experiences were teaching you. But the energy shifting now is that you are ready because you have done that work. You have looked at those spilled cups long enough to extract every lesson, every piece of wisdom, every fragment of growth they had to offer. The universe is responding to this readiness by preparing to fill those 2 remaining cups with something that actually aligns with who you have become. Not who you were when those other cups spilled. Not who you thought you should be. But who you actually are right now, in this present moment, having walked through that grief and come out the other side with more wisdom, more self-awareness, and honestly, more capacity to receive what is truly meant for you. What I find really beautiful about this card in your reading is that it is saying your readiness is not about being completely healed from everything that hurt you. It is about being complete with your healing process around those specific things. There is a difference. Being complete means you have extracted the growth, you have forgiven what needs forgiving, you have released what needs releasing, and now you are standing in a place where those past disappointments no longer dictate your future choices. The universe responds to this energy instantly. When you stop looking back with regret and start looking back with gratitude for the growth, everything shifts. You become magnetic to experiences that honor your journey rather than repeat your pain. And Cancer, the Five of Cups here, is telling me that you have reached that point. You might not feel completely different, you might not have this huge dramatic moment of realization, but energetically, you have crossed a threshold. You are ready because you have finally made peace with what was not meant for you. Moving into the second card, I pulled the Two of Pentacles and this one made me smile because it is so perfectly timed for where you are right now. The Two of Pentacles is all about balance, juggling, managing multiple things at once. And in the context of your readiness, this card is revealing something crucial about how you have been preparing yourself without even realizing it. Cancer, you have been in a period of learning how to hold multiple truths at the same time. You have been learning how to be healing and still functional, how to be hopeful and still realistic, how to be open and still protected. This ability to hold paradox, to exist in the space between extremes. This is actually a huge sign of readiness that most people overlook. The universe has been watching you develop this skill, and here is what is so powerful about it. When you can hold balance within yourself, when you can manage the ups and downs of life without completely losing your center, you become someone who can handle bigger blessings. Because bigger blessings come with bigger responsibilities, more complexity, more moving parts. And the Two of Pentacles is showing me that you have been developing exactly that capacity. I am seeing that there have been moments recently where you felt like you were barely keeping it together, like you were juggling too many things and something was going to drop. But what you might not have noticed is that you did not drop anything. You kept going. You found your rhythm, You adapted. You figured it out. And every single time you did that, you were proving to the universe that you can handle what is coming next. The universe responds to this readiness by sending you opportunities that require exactly this skill set. Things that are complex but manageable. Things that require balance but do not overwhelm you. And here's the beautiful part, Cancer. Because you have developed this ability to juggle and balance, these opportunities will not feel like burdens. They will feel like challenges you are actually equipped to handle. They will feel like growth that is uncomfortable but not destructive. What I love about the Two of Pentacles in this position is that it is also talking about financial and material readiness. You have been learning how to manage your resources better, how to invest your energy wisely, how to make choices that serve your long-term stability rather than just your immediate comfort. This practical wisdom is so important, and the universe is acknowledging it. You are ready because you have developed the discipline and flexibility to work with what you have while staying open to what is coming. The third card that came through is the Magician in Cancer. When I turned this over, I actually felt chills because this is such a powerful affirmation of your readiness. The Magician is card number 2 in the Major Arcana, and it represents mastery, manifestation, and having all the tools you need right in front of you. This card is the universe saying, yes, you are ready, and here is why. The Magician stands at his table with all 4 suits of the tarot laid out before him. Cups for emotions, pentacles for material resources, swords for mental clarity, and wands for creative passion. He has one hand pointing up to the heavens and one hand pointing down to the earth, showing that he understands how to channel divine energy into physical reality. And Cancer, this is exactly where you are right now. You have been through so much that has taught you how to work with different aspects of yourself. You have learned emotional intelligence through your experiences with the cups. You have learned practical wisdom through your experiences with pentacles. You have learned mental strength through your experiences with swords. You have learned creative resilience through your experiences with wands. You might not have thought of it this way, but you have been collecting tools, developing skills, building capacity, and now you are standing at your own table with everything you need. The readiness that the Magician represents is not about waiting for one more thing to fall into place. It is about recognizing that you already have what you need. The universe is responding to this by opening pathways for you to demonstrate your mastery. You are going to find yourself in situations where you need to draw on multiple skills at once, where you need to be emotionally intelligent and practically savvy and mentally sharp and creatively bold. And you are going to realize that you can do it. You are going to surprise yourself with how capable you have become. What I am really picking up from the Magician in your reading is that your readiness has a lot to do with self-belief. Not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded, I know what I am capable of way. You have stopped questioning whether you have what it takes and started simply using what you have. That shift is massive. That shift tells the universe that you are ready to receive because you trust yourself to steward what is given to you. I also want to highlight something about the Magician that feels really relevant for you. Cancer. This card is about conscious creation. It is about understanding that you are not just passively waiting for good things to happen. You are actively participating in creating your reality through your thoughts, your words, your actions, your energy. You have awakened to your own power, and that awakening is what makes you ready. The universe responds to people who understand their role as co-creators, and Cancer, you have stepped into that role. The 4th card I pulled is the Tower, and I know when people see this card, they often panic. But in the context of readiness and universal response, the Tower is actually showing something really important. Stay with me on this because the message here is profound. The Tower represents sudden change, breakthrough, the crumbling of structures that no longer serve. And what the universe is saying through this card is that you are ready specifically because you have already been through your Tower moments. You have already experienced the ground shaking beneath you. You have already rebuilt after things fell apart. You have already learned that you can survive upheaval and come out stronger. This history with Tower energy is exactly what makes you ready for what is next. Because here is the thing, Cancer. The blessings coming your way are going to require you to let go of old patterns, old beliefs, old ways of being that kept you small. And if you had not already experienced the Tower, if you had not already learned that destruction can be divine redirection, you would resist what is coming. You would hold on to the old structures out of fear. But you are not going to do that because you have already learned that lesson. The universe is responding to your readiness by bringing you opportunities that might initially feel destabilizing. Not because they are bad for you, but because they are so good that they require you to expand beyond your current container. New relationships that ask you to show up differently. New opportunities that ask you to step into bigger visibility. New levels of abundance that ask you to release scarcity thinking. These are all tower moments in their own way, but you are ready for them. What I am seeing with the tower in this position is that you have developed a trust in the process of transformation. You no longer see change as something to fear. You see it as something that happens for you, not to you. This perspective shift is massive, and it signals to the universe that you can handle accelerated growth. You can handle rapid change. You can handle the uncomfortable expansion that comes with leveling up. I also want to mention that the tower is about truth and revelation. You are ready because you have been willing to see the truth about yourself, your patterns, your fears, your desires. You have not been hiding from your own shadow. You have been doing the work of looking at what is real, even when it is uncomfortable. And the universe rewards that level of honesty with experiences that are equally authentic. No more illusions, Cancer. You are moving into a phase of your life where everything is real, raw, and aligned with truth. The fifth card that appeared is the Queen of Cups, and this card is so deeply connected to your Cancer energy that I almost smiled when I turned it over. The Queen of Cups is emotional mastery, intuitive power, compassionate wisdom, and in this reading about readiness, she is showing up to confirm something beautiful about where you are right now. You are ready, Cancer, because you have learned how to hold your emotional world without being consumed by it. The Queen of Cups sits on her throne by the water, holding her cup with both hands, looking at it with complete presence. She is not overwhelmed by the water around her. She is not drowning in emotion. She has learned how to be with her feelings, how to honor them, how to use them as information without letting them dictate every choice she makes. This is such a powerful place to be, and it is a huge indicator of readiness. For so long, you might have felt like your emotions were too much. Too big, too intense, too overwhelming. You might have felt like your sensitivity was a weakness or a burden. But the Queen of Cups is here to tell you that you have transformed that sensitivity into a superpower. You have learned how to feel deeply without losing yourself. You have learned how to be empathetic without being codependent. You have learned how to use your intuition as guidance without letting it become anxiety. The universe is responding to this emotional maturity by bringing you connections and experiences that honor your depth. No more shallow interactions. No more people who cannot meet you at your emotional level. No more situations that require you to dim your sensitivity or pretend to be less feeling than you are. You are ready for relationships and opportunities that celebrate your emotional intelligence, that benefit from your intuitive gifts, that value the depth of feeling you bring to everything you do. What I am really picking up from the Queen of Cups is that you have become someone who can hold space, not just for yourself but for others, not in a way that depletes you, but in a way that actually fills you up, because it is aligned with your natural gifts. You have learned boundaries around your empathy, and that is huge. You have learned when to pour from your cup and when to refill it. This wisdom, this balance, this is what makes you ready for the next level. I am also seeing with the Queen of Cups that your intuition has become one of your most trusted guides. You are not second-guessing yourself the way you used to. When you get a feeling about something, you listen. When your gut tells you yes or no, you honor it. This trust in your inner knowing is a clear sign to the universe that you are ready to be guided into bigger things because you have proven you can follow the guidance you receive. The sixth card I drew for you is the Seven of Pentacles, and this one feels like such a perfect midpoint in your reading. The Seven of Pentacles is about patience, assessment, waiting for the harvest. It shows a figure leaning on their garden tool, looking at the plants they have been tending, evaluating the growth, deciding what to do next. Cancer, you are ready because you have been planting seeds. Not just recently, but over a long period of time. You have been doing the inner work, making the hard choices, investing in yourself, showing up consistently even when you could not see immediate results. And now you are at this beautiful place where you can look at your garden and see that things are actually growing. The universe is responding to your patience and persistence by preparing to bring those seeds into full bloom. But here is what the Seven of Pentacles wants you to understand. The harvest does not happen all at once. It happens gradually, in stages, as things ripen in their own time. You are ready for this gradual unfolding. You are ready to trust the timing of your harvest rather than trying to force everything to bloom at once. What I love about this card in your reading is that it is acknowledging all the work you have done that nobody else saw. All the nights you spent journaling, crying, praying, healing. All the times you chose growth over comfort. All the moments you stayed committed to your path even when you felt discouraged. The Seven of Pentacles sees all of that, and it is telling you that none of it was wasted. Every single seed you planted is coming to fruition. Some sooner, some later, but all in perfect timing. The readiness indicated by the Seven of Pentacles is about having a long-term vision. You have stopped looking for quick fixes and instant gratification. You understand that real transformation, real abundance, real love, these things take time to develop roots. And because you understand that, you are ready to receive things that have staying power. Not flash-in-the-pan experiences that burn out quickly, but solid, sustainable blessings that grow stronger over time. I am also seeing that the Seven of Pentacles is asking you to assess where you are. Not from a place of judgment, but from a place of honest evaluation. What is working? What needs adjustment? What deserves more of your energy? What needs to be pruned away? You are ready because you have the wisdom to make these assessments clearly. You can see your life objectively while still honoring your emotional truth. This balanced perspective is rare and valuable. The seventh card that came through is the Page of Swords, and this one brings such an interesting energy to your reading. The Page of Swords is curious, alert, ready to learn, quick thinking. This page stands with sword raised, looking up at the sky, watching for information, ready to act on what they discover. You are ready, Cancer, because you have developed a learner's mindset. You have stayed curious about yourself, about life, about what is possible. Even after everything you have been through, you have not become cynical or closed off. You have maintained this beautiful openness to new information, new perspectives, new ways of seeing things. And that openness is exactly what the universe needs from you right now. The Page of Swords is also about mental clarity and communication. You have been getting clearer about what you want, what you need, what you will and will not accept. You have been finding your voice. You have been learning how to articulate your truth in ways that feel authentic to you. This clarity and communication skill is a huge part of your readiness, because what is coming next will require you to speak up, to advocate for yourself, to clearly express your needs and boundaries. The universe is responding to this mental sharpness by bringing you situations where your quick thinking and clear communication will serve you well. Opportunities where you need to negotiate, advocate, or simply express yourself with confidence. And Cancer, you are going to find that you have exactly the mental agility you need. All those times you practiced speaking your truth, even when your voice shook, were preparing you for this. What I am picking up from the Page of Swords is also about staying alert to signs and messages. You are in a phase where the universe is communicating with you constantly, through synchronicities, through patterns, through repeated messages. The Page of Swords is ready with sword raised, watching the sky for signals. That is you right now. You are paying attention. You are noticing. You are making connections between things that seem unrelated. This awareness is a form of readiness because it means you will recognize your opportunities when they appear. I also want to highlight that the Page of Swords can indicate new ideas, new plans, new mental adventures. You are ready to think differently about your life. You are ready to consider possibilities that you previously thought were impossible or impractical. This expansion of what you believe is possible is opening doors in your reality. The universe responds to expanded thinking with expanded experiences. The eighth card I pulled is the Two of Swords, and this card is fascinating in the context of readiness because it is typically about being stuck between two choices, being in a state of indecision or stalemate. But in your reading, Cancer, I am seeing it represent something much more powerful. The Two of Swords shows a blindfolded figure holding two swords crossed over their heart. And what I am picking up is that you are ready because you have learned how to pause. You have learned how to sit with uncertainty without immediately rushing to resolve it. You have learned how to protect your heart while you consider your options. This ability to pause, to wait for clarity, to not act impulsively out of fear or pressure, this is profound readiness. For so long, you might have felt like you needed to make decisions immediately. Like you needed to have all the answers right away. Like uncertainty was unbearable and needed to be resolved as quickly as possible. But you have matured past that. You have learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is wait. Not passive waiting, but active waiting. Staying centered, staying protected, staying open to clarity while refusing to force an answer before it is time. The universe is responding to this readiness by giving you space. Space to feel into things, space to receive more information, space to let the right path reveal itself naturally. You are not being rushed. You are not being pressured. You are being given the gift of time to make choices that truly align with your highest good. And you are ready for that because you have learned to trust the pause. What the Two of Swords is also showing me is that you have learned how to hold opposing truths without needing to immediately resolve the tension between them. You can want something and be scared of it at the same time. You can love someone and know they are not right for you. You can be excited about the future and sad about leaving the past. These paradoxes do not confuse you the way they used to. You can hold them with grace, with maturity, with wisdom, and that ability to hold complexity is a clear sign that you are ready for a more nuanced, multidimensional experience of life. I am also seeing that the Two of Swords represents a kind of inner peace that comes from knowing you do not have to have all the answers. You have surrendered the need to control every outcome. You have learned to trust that clarity will come when it is supposed to come. And in the meantime, you can rest in the not knowing. This surrender is powerful, and it signals to the universe that you are ready to be guided, rather than trying to force your way through everything. The 9th card that appeared for you is the 10 of Pentacles and Cancer. This card made my heart so happy because it is about legacy, abundance, completion, and the fullness of material and emotional security. The 10 of Pentacles shows a family gathered under an archway decorated with the symbols of manifestation. There is a sense of arrival, of having built something lasting, of being surrounded by the fruits of long-term effort. You are ready, Cancer, for this level of abundance and stability. Not just financial abundance, though that is certainly part of it, but abundance in all its forms. Rich relationships, deep security, a sense of home and belonging, the feeling of having built a life that reflects your values and honors your journey. The 10 of Pentacles is telling you that you have done the work to be able to receive and sustain this kind of fullness. Here is what is so important about this card in terms of readiness. The 10 of Pentacles is not about sudden windfalls or lottery-type luck. It is about the culmination of consistent effort over time. It is about reaping what you have sown. It is about being able to enjoy the harvest, because you put in the work to plant and tend the garden. You are ready for this because you have been building, slowly and steadily, towards something real and lasting. The universe is responding to your readiness by bringing you opportunities that have long-term potential. Not just quick wins, but foundations you can build on. Relationships that can go the distance. Career opportunities that offer real growth. Financial situations that create lasting security. You are moving into a phase where you get to enjoy stability without stagnation, abundance without anxiety, success without sacrifice. What I love about the 10 of Pentacles is that it also represents legacy and intergenerational healing. You are ready because you have done the work to break patterns that were passed down to you. You have healed wounds that were not even yours originally. You have transformed family karma, and now you get to be the ancestor that future generations are grateful for. You get to be the one who changed everything. That is the kind of readiness that creates lasting impact. I am also seeing with the 10 of Pentacles that you are ready to create and sustain a sense of home. Not just a physical home, though that might be part of it, but an internal sense of belonging and safety. You have learned how to be home for yourself, and that inner foundation is what allows you to create external structures that reflect that peace. The universe is ready to support you in building something beautiful and lasting. The 10th and final card I pulled for you is the 9 of Wands and Cancer. This card is such a perfect completion to your reading because it speaks to resilience, strength, and standing your ground after having been through battle. The 9 of Wands shows a figure standing with their wand planted firmly, looking cautious but determined, with 8 wands standing behind them like a fence of protection. You are ready because you have been tested and you did not break. You have faced challenges that could have destroyed you, and instead they made you stronger. You have battle scars, and you have learned to wear them with pride rather than shame. You have developed resilience that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or obstacles. This strength, this endurance, this refusal to give up, this is what makes you ready for everything that is coming. The universe is responding to your resilience by bringing you opportunities that require exactly this kind of strength. Not because life is trying to break you again, but because the blessings coming your way are big enough that they need someone strong enough to carry them. Success requires strength. Love requires courage. Abundance requires the ability to hold it without self-sabotage. And you have proven you can do all of that. What I am seeing with the Nine of Wands is that you are ready to drop your guard just enough to let good things in while still maintaining healthy boundaries. You have learned the difference between being defensive and being protected. You know how to say no to what does not serve you while saying yes to what does. This discernment is so valuable, and it is going to serve you incredibly well as new people and opportunities enter your life. The Nine of Wands is also about perseverance. You are ready because you have stayed committed to your path even when you were exhausted, even when you wanted to quit, even when it felt like things would never change. That persistence has built character and strength that cannot be taken from you. And the universe sees that. The universe honors that. And the universe is preparing to reward that in ways that will take your breath away. I want to close by saying that all 10 of these cards together paint such a clear picture of someone who has done the work, who has earned their readiness, who has transformed through fire and come out gold. You are ready, Cancer, not because you are perfect or because you have it all figured out, but because you have become someone who can hold blessings without dropping them, someone who can receive love without sabotaging it, someone who can build abundance without destroying it. The universe has been watching your journey, and the response is coming. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the timing. Everything you have been preparing for is preparing for you too. Thank you so much for being here and letting me share this energy with you. If this resonated, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What part of this reading hit home for you? And I will see you in the next one.